so a quick recap of how I upgraded my server. So this is a Fujitsu PRIMERGY TX 140, I think. TX140, and it came with two 500 gig SATA hard drives set up as RAID 1. So this is disk 0. So I bought two new SATA 2 terabyte drives from Fujitsu, about £150 each. Popped those in. I downed the server, booted it up with these drives in, and then I went into the LSI Mega RAID onboard utility, and I created a disk 1. So now I've got a disk 0 and a disk 1. I then booted Windows and I installed this utility, Aome Partition Assistant. So what I then did was I did the migrate OS to SSD or HDD, followed that through, and obviously what you do is you migrate the C drive over to the unallocated, I think this came up as an E drive when I did it, but anyway, it was unallocated disk 2, and followed it through. It had to do this from using a reboot, because obviously all the files are in use. But it copies all the files from the old 500 gig C drive to the new unallocated disk 1 in pre-OS while it reboots. Took about 4 hours, I believe, because I went and played tennis, and when I came back it was all done. Then I booted up and I ran the LSI Mega RAID utility, which is under Fujitsu RAID Manager, and it's that one there. And then all I did, continue to this website. All I did was check that the RAID was all there and configured. I could see everything. And then I simply marked the disk 1, the new disk 1, as the primary boot, as opposed to having the disk 0, the 500 gig RAID system, as the primary boot. And it all came up and worked. Okay. So here you can see the two logical drives. Drive 0, which are these two WDC drives, Western Digital drives, and this is my new logical drive 1, which actually are Seagate drives by the look of it. And all I'm going to do now is right click disk 0 and delete that logical drive. You can do this from here, or you can do it from the LSI Mega RAID utility on boot up in the BIOS. So this is the boot up, and I've just paused it here, but this is the LSI Mega RAID software BIOS utility, and you can see that there are two Western Digital drives there, 476 gig, and you can see the new Seagate ST2000 whatever, 1.9 gig, and you can see that there's array 00 and array 01. Control M to go into the utility, which I'll do. And one more thing, major news flash. Your keyboard has to go in to the very first slot on the USB riser. This keyboard, I've tried about 7 different keyboards, and only one of them worked, and only one of them worked when plugged into that USB socket there, the one that's nearest the slots. So Control M on the LSI software RAID configuration bit, it tells you Control M at the bottom, goes into this system, and then all you do is choose select boot drive, and you set your boot drive to be the new 1.9 terabyte RAID configuration you just installed. And it says boot drive information is saved, press any key to continue, and that's it. So then it boots off that new set of 1.9 or 2 terabyte SATA drives, and now you can delete the old 500 gig logical drive and you're done. Okay. Now there is one other BIOS utility that you can go into whilst you are booting up. It's Control S to get into this thing here. But quite honestly, I have no idea what this is, because none of these options have any other valid options to change to. So network boot protocol, and it says down the bottom there are no other choices. Use BIOS setup boot order, so hit the space bar. There are no other choices. Show setup prompt. Select whether a Control S, enable or disable, and that's it. I'll enable that. And menu wait time 0235 0235. So I'll just leave it on whatever that was. So F4. So that's not such a great utility. Okay, and that's it. So that's your new 2 terabyte RAID 1 and how to set that up. Okay, see you next time.